You wake up before dawn, not to an alarm, but to the silent expectation of a castle that never sleeps. Your body belongs to a lord. Your face belongs to tradition. And your heart? You learned to lock that away years ago. What if everything you've heard about the glamorous lives of feudal Japan's concubines was wrong? Before we step behind the silk screens, take a moment to like this video and subscribe to Little Historical. It helps us uncover more hidden lives together. Forget the dramas, forget the paintings of serene women in cherry blossoms. The real life of a concubine in feudal Japan was not a romance. It was a silent war fought with perfume, poetry, and perfectly tied sashes. Would you last one day knowing that a single wrong glance could end your status or your life? If you want to uncover the truth behind the silk curtain, please like this video and subscribe to Little Historical. Your support keeps these forgotten stories alive. Now, take a breath. Your reflection in the bronze mirror is waiting. Your futon is hard. Your neck is stiff. And somewhere beyond the rice paper doors, a lord is laughing, though you cannot be sure if he even remembers your name. This is day one of being a concubine in feudal Japan. Your armor is silk. Your battlefield is the tea room. And your only weapon is a smile that cannot reach your eyes. What would you do to survive when beauty is your only currency? Before the sun fully rises, please subscribe to Little Historical and give this video a like. You are not just watching history, you are breathing it. Now, sit still. The powder puff is already in the air. You lie perfectly still, not because you are resting, but because any movement before the servants arrive is considered unrefined. The futon beneath you has grown warm from your body heat, and somewhere in the darkness beyond the rice paper screens, a nightingale calls out, once, then falls silent. You have been awake for perhaps an hour already, listening to the castle breathe. The daimyo's chambers are at the opposite end of the east wing, but you can almost feel the weight of his presence pressing against the walls. Last night, you were not summoned. The night before, you were. That is how favor works here, not a steady flame, but a flickering candle that could be snuffed out by a whisper, a rumor, or simply the arrival of a younger woman with shinier hair and fewer opinions. Your back aches from sleeping in a position that looks graceful but feels like punishment. Your hair, once pinned with such precision, has flattened on one side. And your mind, despite the early hour, is already running through the calculations that never stop. Which concubine dined with him last evening? Did she laugh at his jokes or sit in respectful silence? Did she wear the pale green kimono that suggests mystery, or the crimson one that openly invites attention? You will learn all of this before breakfast, not because anyone tells you directly, but because the servant's eyes will flicker toward a certain room, and the tea will arrive lukewarm for some but steaming for others. Everything means something here. The angle of a sleeve, the placement of a comb, the way you bow just slightly deeper to one woman while barely nodding at another. It is exhausting, this performance that never ends. But you have learnt that exhaustion is simply the price of breathing inside these walls. A soft shuffle now, footsteps in the corridor. The servants are coming. You close your eyes again, arrange your face into serene emptiness, and wait. The screen slides open. They bow. You do not bow back. That is the first silent transaction of the day, and already, without a word spoken, your status has been measured, noted, and filed away for later use. Here we go again. The servants do not speak, and neither do you. That is the strange music of the morning, a quiet choreography of cloth and breath, and the soft padding of bare feet on tatami mats. One attendant, the youngest, carries a warm basin of water infused with yuzu rind, the steam rising in lazy spirals that disappear before they reach the ceiling. Another holds a folded pile of white cotton, the first layer of what will become an armor of silk and obedience. You rise slowly, carefully, because any sudden movement would suggest anxiety, and anxiety suggests guilt, and guilt suggests you have something to hide. You have everything to hide. That is the point. The youngest attendant kneels before you with a damp cloth, and you close your eyes as she wipes the sleep from your face, her movements precise and impersonal. She is not your friend. She is not your confidant. She is a pair of hands attached to a mouth that will whisper everything she sees to someone else before the sun has fully cleared the castle walls. You learn to forget she is there. You also learn to never forget. The warm water softens your skin, and for a brief, forbidden moment, you allow yourself to feel something close to comfort. But then the powder comes. The oshiroi, white as fresh snow, made from crushed rice, and, if the rumors are true, just enough lead to keep your complexion unnaturally pale and your future unnaturally short. The attendant pats it onto your face with a soft sponge, layer after layer, until your reflection in the bronze mirror no longer looks like you. Your eyebrows disappear beneath the white. Your lips, still unpainted, seem to vanish entirely. You are becoming a mask. That is the goal. In feudal Japan, a concubine's face is not meant to express emotion. It is meant to express porcelain, stillness, the blank beauty of an object waiting to be desired. Your mother taught you this, or perhaps the woman who raised you in the years before you were sent here. Be smooth, she said. Be silent. Be a mirror that reflects only what he wants to see. The attendant tilts your chin upward, inspecting her work. She nods once, and you feel the weight of approval like a small coin dropped into an empty purse. But the real test has not yet begun. Your lips are still bare. Your teeth are still their natural color, and the obi that will bind your ribs until sunset is still lying coiled on the floor like a sleeping snake, waiting to wake up and remind you that beauty is not freedom. Beauty is the opposite of freedom. You have known this since your first day inside the inner chambers, but you have never said it aloud. You will never say it aloud. Some truths are too heavy for even a whisper to carry. Now the teeth. You have been dreading this part since the moment you opened your eyes, not because it hurts, but because it transforms you into something even you do not recognize. The attendant brings a small lacquered box, dark and unassuming, and when she opens it, the smell hits you first, sharp and metallic, like old coins left too long in the rain. This is the ōoku, the black paste made from iron filings and vinegar, steeped for days until it becomes glossy as ink and twice as permanent. She dips a soft brush into the mixture, and you open your mouth because you have no choice. A concubine who refuses to blacken her teeth is a concubine who does not understand her own body. And a woman who does not understand her body has no place inside these walls. The paste is cold against your enamel, spreading across each tooth like a slow tide, and you try not to gag on the taste of rust and decay. Your attendants lean close, their breath warm on your cheeks, inspecting every surface, every corner, every hidden gap where the black might fail to reach. They are not cruel. They are simply thorough, and in this palace, thoroughness is the mother of survival. When they finish, you look into the bronze mirror again, and the woman staring back at you has a smile that has been erased. Not removed, but painted over, censored, turned into something that no longer invites warmth. The ōoku signals that you are unavailable to any man except the daimyo. It says, I am owned. It says, do not look at me with desire, unless you are prepared to die for it. It also says, quietly, in a language no one speaks aloud, that you have surrendered your body to a system that values you most when you are silent, still, and slightly inhuman. You close your lips. You do not smile. You will not smile for the rest of the day, because smiling would reveal the black, and the black would remind everyone, including the daimyo, that you are a concubine, not a wife, not a lover, not a person. Just a carefully painted vessel waiting to be filled with purpose. The attendant steps back, satisfied. Your face is finished. Your teeth are dark as midnight. And somewhere beyond the screen, you hear footsteps approaching. Not the soft shuffle of servants this time, something heavier. A man's stride. You do not breathe. You do not move. You wait. The footsteps pass. Not for you. Not this morning. You let out a breath you did not realize you were holding, and the youngest attendant glances at you with something that might be pity or might be relief. It is hard to tell the difference inside the inner chambers. The heavy stride belonged to the daimyo's personal messenger, the one who carries the wooden tokens that summon a concubine to the Lord's chambers. You saw the token in his hand as he moved past your door, a small carved plaque no larger than a woman's palm, but heavier than any sword. Someone will receive it today. Someone will bathe twice, repowder her neck, and spend the afternoon trembling between hope and dread. That someone is not you. You tell yourself this is a blessing. A night without summons means a night without performance, without the careful choreography of touch and breath, and the quiet surrender of your body to a man who may or may not remember your name in the morning. But the other voice, the one you try to keep, buried beneath silk and powder, whispers something else. It whispers that you have been passed over, that another woman's hips will sway beneath the embroidered cranes tonight, not yours. That favor is a river, and you are standing on dry ground, watching the water flow toward a face you have never liked. You push the thought down and arrange your features into neutrality. The attendants begin dressing you, layer after layer, and you let them lift your arms and tie your sashes without resistance. Your body has learned to be passive. It has learned that fighting the silk only makes the obi tighter. The outer kimono today is pale blue, the color of winter mornings, and the obi is silver thread woven with small, nearly invisible flowers. You chose this combination yesterday, before you knew you would not be chosen. Pale blue says I am calm. Silver says I am expensive. Together, they whisper a lie that you hope the other concubines will believe. Your hair is pinned high now, 3 tortoiseshell combs holding it in place, and the youngest attendant steps back to admire her work. You look like a painting. You look like a poem. You look like a woman who has never been hungry, never been lonely, never woken up in the dark, wondering if this is all there is. The performance is complete. You rise, and the silk rustles around you like 1,000 whispering witnesses. The screen slides open, and you step into the corridor where the messenger walked only minutes ago. Your face is smooth. Your teeth are black. Your heart is a small, caged thing beating against its ribs. And somewhere in the East Wing, another woman is already pouring tea for a man who will never see you the same way again.